Code Red selected.
What's good, guys? It's your boy Code Red, and I am back with another one, man. So, listen, got some interesting news for y'all. So, October 4th, my birthday, by the way. So, get in that comment section and wish your boy a happy birthday. Um, but all seriousness, guys, October 4th, we received a post from the official Sega Japan page. And pretty much it showed the word Sega being written across the screen multiple times. And it basically was kind of like a riddle. They told us to spot what stood out. Immediately, people lost it. Um, it's standing out clear as day. So let's take a quick look at it. So if you look, the word Sega is being written multiple times across the screen. Well, if you look at the second row, and it is the second Sega from the left, you see SE6A. Now, SE6A, immediately people lose it because their minds immediately go to a new Virtua Fighter. Now, for you guys who are not familiar with Virtua Fighter, Virtua Fighter is the OG 3D fighter. It's before Tekken. It was the original 3D fighter. It's the one that set the bar. It's the reason that we have 3D fighters right now. Okay, so the last Virtua Fighter that we had came out in original release, excuse me, came out in 2006, and that was Virtua Fighter 5. They recently did an update about 3 years ago, Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown. And that featured just an overall revamp where they did an updated um HD graphics. They did, added some online features. Just the overall presentation of the game in general was updated. It looked really good. It came out in 2021, and it was received pretty well. People purchased it, people, you know, supported. It was good and it looked great. For a game that came out in 2006 and then 2021, of course they updated a little bit, but just for that game to look how it did and how it was presented was excellent. It looked amazing. Um, but yeah, that's it. That's all we've had. Now since then, Virtual Fighter has been rumored, and a lot of people have been speculating that a reveal has been coming. One of the bigger and most notable times would be with the last Game Awards, where leading up to that, there was a message in which Sega had put out saying, kind of indicating something was coming. Well, people were speculating that that was going to be Virtual Fighter. Now, unfortunately, the advertisement, the commercial, it was a Sega commercial, but it showed a lot of games from Sega's history that they're basically redoing. Some of the games, being included was like Jet Set Radio, which I am excited for. Crazy Taxi, a lot of the classic games that they have basically, or they're going to basically redo. Now, some people were kind of disappointed about it because there was no uh indication or information about Virtual Fighter in that commercial. But it did give hope because in that commercial it did speak of, these games that were being redone pretty much. Since then we've been hearing a lot of stuff here and there about, Virtual Fighter. It's been talks about it. It's been rumored for a while now. But this product right here is the first time that we are truly, truly seeing hope, like real hope. Um, so the interesting thing though is I want to talk about Harada because this is a couple of days ago, and I kind of find this weird. But Harada did an interview where they talked about a bunch of different things, but one of the things in particular that stood out to me was him voicing his opinion about basically being the only dude on the mountaintop when it comes to 3D fighters. So in that interview, he basically said, so the question was asked, Tekken is certainly the most prominent 3D fighter right now. How do you feel being the last man standing, so to speak? Why has Tekken stood the test of time while others haven't? Harada responded, it's kind of sad that we're the only 3D fighting game because 3D and 2D are just so drastically different. Back in the day, like you said, there were more games, but after a while, you stop seeing them. With 2D fighters, sometimes you'll see more indie developers creating them, but that doesn't happen with 3D fighters. So yeah, when you look around, it's just Tekken. It's kind of unfortunate, right? He's a little bit more, but I'm gonna put that actual an actual link in the description so you guys can go read it. I don't want to go too much into it. I kind of want to stay on topic. But he does say a little bit more. But that I just found so weird because that came out only a couple of days ago. And then now we're kind of getting this little weird message about, the Sega and the riddle thing or whatever. And I mean, y'all think Boone is a troll? Harada is a troll, just on that same level. They're in the same tier. And I'm not saying that he just know, and maybe he don't. Maybe it's just me tripping, but I just find that to be kind of odd, considering it came out a couple of days ago. Another thing is that, you know, when you look at the Ultimate Showdown, there was, some crossover costumes, with Ultimate Showdown that basically featured some of the Tekken characters' costumes on the Virtual Fighter fighters in the Virtual Fighter 5, which was kind of interesting. So we know that there's a crossover there as far as like there's a crossover there, so that's pretty interesting. And just in general, man, when it comes to this virtual fighter thing, I think that it's the only game right now that we're seeing as far as, this sudden resurgence with a lot of the older games coming back. Like, you got Fatal Fury coming out next year. Then you got all these collections coming out. And even those are leading to people some speculating that, we're going to get something more from these collections. But you're seeing this resurgence of a lot of the older fighters. And I think Virtua Fighter is one of the ones that has not made any noise yet. But there's been so many rumors around it. So this right here is really, really cool. And when it comes to Virtual Fighter, I'll say this, man. I love Virtual Fighter. And honestly, I would probably go as far as saying that I actually like Virtual Fighter more than I like Tekken. Um, but Virtual Fighter is just one of those games that's really unique, and I know people hear this all the time when it comes to fighting games where they say, "Oh, well, the saying is like easy to pick up and play, but hard to master." Virtua Fighter is truly one of those type of games. Like it is so easy to pick up, like so easy to play. But to truly play it at a high level, it takes a certain level of skill. And if you've never seen a high level Virtua Fighter play, please, I suggest you go and look because it's really, really amazing. It's cool to watch. But Virtua Fighter is just a very, very unique fighter, and I'm happy if this is any hope that we get one. I am truly, truly happy about it. And I think it will be great. I think it'll be great for the community. And I'm hyped for it. I'm hyped. I'm hyped to just see how it will look, you know, in 2024, 2025, 26, whatever, whenever it's being released, just updated graphics. And what's another thing that's interesting is I want to know how Virtual Fighter plans to approach the modern fighting game, because the modern fighting game, it's so much glitz and so much glamour. And I'm with its only competition truly being Tekken. Um, as far as like the 3D fighter realm goes, I'm curious to know how they plan to approach that, because Virtual Fighter, for what people, for those who know, and those who don't know, I guess it's who I should be talking to. Virtual Fighter is very plain. Like it is literally like you get out there, you just fight. There's no real gimmicks. Outside of certain characters having little stuff. Um, but there's no true gimmicks of the game. Like it's literally like if you get beat, it's because you got beat. Like there's nothing that no comeback mechanics. It's just fighting. There's no like cinematic stuff as far as like, the finisher type stuff. All that stuff that you're used to in modern fighting games that's not Virtual Fighter. So I'm curious how they plan to fully compete with virtual or with Tekken, because where back in the day, like I could see them just sticking to the same. mode of how, Virtua Fighter is. And I hope to an extent they stay true to that, but I do think that they're going to update it and it's going to be a little bit more modern. I feel like you will see a little bit more cinematic stuff, which I think will be just so dope. I don't know why, just Virtua Fighter has always been the thing to me is that characters, wow, fun. Like I like a lot of characters. I'm just gonna be honest, they were plain, and very generic, um, in how they were, put out there. Certain characters had a little bit more character, to them, like like Jackie and um Sarah and stuff like that. But they still were just when compared to other fighting games, they were very generic feeling. So I'm curious how they plan to approach this with um the more modern take on it. So that's got me excited. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Get that comment section sound off. Do you think this is any indication that we're going to get a new Virtual Fighter? Do you think it's going to be something else? How do y'all feel about a new Virtual Fighter? Are y'all happy about it? Do you want another Virtual Fighter? Um, what do you guys think? Who do y'all want in the game? And then like even with my whole take on, updating and making it more modern with, cinematics and, finishers and comeback mechanics and stuff like that. How do y'all feel like that? Do you think they should stick to their original way of doing it and just being that straight up and down, we just fight and that's all we do? Or do you think they need to adapt a little bit and start putting in some things that we see more common in today's fighters? What do y'all think, man? Hit the comment section and let me know, all right? Code Red. Hey, I got to get up out of here, but I enjoy y'all as always. Take care.
Code Red. Selected.